What's going on, guys? This is Free Range with Von Miller, the podcast that can't be contained. On today's episode, we give our recap on Super Bowl 60, which saw the Seattle Seahawks destroy the New England Patriots. Was that a Super Bowl, or was that just a Thursday night football game? We'll also talk about our experiences that we had during Super Bowl week. I went out to San Francisco for 2 days, and I had a great time. And I'll recap all of my experience with you guys as well. We'll talk about the NFL award winners. We'll talk about the 2026 Hall of Fame class, the guys that got in and the guys that should have got in. We'll go free range with our newest segment, Free Range or Contained. And then we'll wrap things up with questions from Miller's Mailbag with my guys Theo and TJ. This is Free Range, episode 14. Let's get into it. What's going on, guys? All-season check-in. Last week, I was down in San Francisco for the Super Bowl. Didn't spend a lot of time there. I was there from Wednesday morning until Friday night, and it just felt great to be there. The next best thing to playing in the Super Bowl is being at the Super Bowl, doing appearances, making money, rubbing shoulders. And Radio Row is one of my favorite parts of Super Bowl week. I did a number of interviews. I don't even know which ones it was, but the most notable one was Pat McAfee. And Pat McAfee is one of my good friends, and I've been on the show several times. That was my first time being on the show for Radio Row. But as you can imagine, his show, his booth was the main attraction of Radio Row. It was so many people there. I mean, so many people trying to get on the show. So many people were getting like squoze in to the show. And me, I wasn't on the list to get in the show. So I had to like wait around. I waited around. They said, go do something and come back. I did some other interviews and I came back. Still wasn't ready. And it got down to the very, very end of the show. And I was getting ready to leave. And I raised my hand and I had a Greener Pastures chicken hat that I wanted to give Pat. So I kind of was like waving it in the show. And Pat saw me and was like, hey, yeah, Vaughn, come on up. And usually they take you around through the back, but I just cut in between the show, shook everybody's hand. I thought it was just going to be there for a couple of seconds, but he was like, hey, man, go ahead and sit down. And we started talking. We started talking about Greener Pastures chicken. Another great part about this, I've been to Radio Row several times, at least 10 times in 16 years. I've been there around 10 times. Usually whenever I'm there, I'm endorsing another brand. I'm endorsing Old Spice or Bose or Beats or Chef's Cut beef jerky. This time I was there endorsing my company, Greener Pastures Chicken, which it felt amazing to be there and really promote something that I'm invested in. If it's Old Spice, you're there, you on the Old Spice roster for 1 year, then they move on and they get somebody else. I'm not going anywhere with Greener Pastures Chicken. I'll forever be with Greener Pastures Chicken. I'll forever be promoting it. And the time that I had there, you got to think Procter & Gamble, they own Old Spice. Those guys probably pay, I don't know. I don't want to assume, but it's a lot of money for those minute to 2 minute spots on these shows. I didn't pay a dime to go out there to endorse Greener Pastures Chicken. I'm on Pat McAfee's show. We're talking about Greener Pastures Chicken. He's familiar with Greener Pastures Chicken because I've been on the show talking about it before. And we're going through the whole spiel. Greener Pastures Chicken, it tastes different than any other chicken that you ever had. Pasture raised, organic, non-GMO. The certification that I'm most proud of is the humanely raised certification because so many people want to know how their product was raised. See, I got it memorized. That was the same spiel that I was giving all these guys. I'm going through the show, and if you know me, I'm good at a lot of things, but basketball is definitely not on that list. And they came to the end of the show and it was like, hey, shoot the basketball for charity. It's like, are you good at basketball? I was like, no, I'm not. I'm not good at basketball at all. And he was like, well, we're going to shoot it. I was like, hey, I get lucky sometimes. Give me the ball. Do my little warm up or whatever. Go through my little jump shot motion. And when I tossed the ball, when I shot the basketball to the hoop, I knew as a shooter, Theo, you kind of know, when the ball left my hand, it was like a split second where I knew it was going in. It was floating in the air, right on track. Then boom, nothing but net.
You went green.
Everybody goes crazy, man. It's $20,000 for the charity of my choice. Pat McAfee, everybody on the show was great, man. Shook hands, spread the word about green and pasture chicken, and that was definitely my highlight of Radio Row.
That's dope.
That's super dope, man.
Other than that, I did an NFLPA Investors Dinner, which was really, really cool too, because it was a select few of people that were invited to this dinner. Athletes, current football players, then there were former football players as well. So you got the big dogs in there, Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald. And if you know about those guys and when it comes to investing money, those guys are at the top of the list. I was able to run into Cameron Hayward. They had Bijan Robert in there, who's a young dog, but his mindset to start investing money, this is only his second year, like he's on the right track. Was able to talk to all of those guys, and then they had some private equity guys in there, and they had a lot of guys that's huge in that space. So I definitely got the word out for Green and Pasture Chicken. Was definitely the highlight of my week. Going there, promote Green and Pasture Chicken. Like I said, it's my company that I started 9 years ago. The last 3 years, we've been scaling up. I'm raising more and more money. And to go do it at Super Bowl week was definitely the highlight of my 2026 year. For sure.
So far. Nice. I want to talk about Radio Row. I seen you was with Akib.
Yep.
I see you sat with him. You went over some Super Bowl 50 memories. And he actually said that y'all was listening to like EDM music before y'all ran out. And you told us it was Rihanna.
Man, like Akib, bro, like I love Akib. Out of all the teammates that I've had, Akib is definitely at the top of that list. We spent a lot of time together when we were in Denver. He lives here in Dallas. We spent a lot of time outside of Denver. We haven't played together for like the last 6 years, but we still continue to stay in touch. And, we still spend a lot of time together. I went and did his show, The Arena. I think it was the Underdogs podcast with him, Richie Incognito, Gerald McCoy. And, whenever you're with guys like that, they remind you of things that you used to do that it wasn't even on my mind. Like back when I was with Denver Broncos, I know TJ, you've DJed for the Buffalo Bills, 2 years ago, and then you DJed for the Commanders last year. That is all new. Music in the locker room was kind of taboo for a long time. You have your headphones in there. For that playoff run, the Super Bowl 50 playoff run, I was like, man, I'm bringing music. Like, I need this before the game. I didn't ask for permission. I just brought my Beats Peel, put it in my locker, and I just started playing music. And the music that I played, it was Nucleus. So Nucleus is like this breakdance. And, usually guys listen to Future and all of this stuff.
Yeah.
I put that on, like, and everybody was vibing to it, like the energy that it because it's different. But you got all different guys from all different backgrounds, and all these guys have different musical tastes. So I wanted to like play music that could that everybody can kind of like vibe to. Like, I love Future, but I know that everybody doesn't like to listen to chicken, bog, money on the floor. Like, people don't like to listen to that before the game. But this Nucleus music that I was listening to, it had such a great vibe. And Keith Talib had brought it up. He's like, when Fam started, that's my nickname that they call me, the Denver Broncos. He's like, when Fam put on that Nucleus, that breakdance music, he called it EDM, but it was actually like breakdance, like 80s music. He was like, everybody was just in a different zone. Everybody was just in a different vibe. And the biggest compliment that I got from Aqib Talib, they talk about the pass rush and they talk about this and that. The best compliment that I got from Aqib Talib, he said that I was the best teammate that he ever had. Mm-hmm. And y'all know me. I take that serious. Rushing the passer, I beat my chest when it comes to rushing the passer. And I beat my chest when it comes to being a great teammate. I just know how to do it. What am I looking for guys to say that? No. But for him to say that, it definitely struck home, man. I love being a great teammate. And Aqib said on his podcast that I was the best teammate that he ever had. You got to think, Aqib played with Gronk. He's played with Tom Brady. He's with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You know, he's with Denver Broncos. Had a whole list of guys on all of those teams, and I was the best teammate that he ever had. So definitely made me feel good about our time together.
That's super dope. That's super dope. I want to move on to, before we get to the Super Bowl, NFL honors. I want to talk NFL honors. Obviously, we got to talk about the MVP being named Matt Stafford.
Yep.
Defensive Player of the Year, Myles Garrett. Offensive Player of the Year, Jackson Smith and Jigba. Oh, man, Theo, we got to talk about it, man. JSN. Yeah. Should we talk about the Drewski mispronouncing his name? Should we talk about Tiffany Haddish mispronouncing?
We could tap into it a little bit. I just feel like he should have just could have passed on that one, dog. Like, I know he's a comedian. I know, he's funny. I know he's trying to be funny, but people work too hard to celebrate themselves sometimes. And you just kind of take the moment from them. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it was kind of about. You know what I'm saying? Also, that being his grandfather's name that he brought over from Sierra Leone. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, outside of him being pissed, just his family was just, like, hey, bro, like, nah, not on this grand stage. You know what I'm saying?
Wait. Let's reverse. So Drewski, comedian, him being a funny guy, at the NFL honors, he chopped up his name.
Yeah, he kind of chopped up his name, in front of capacity, and it's just like, I'm not fully blaming him. I feel like, in my opinion, like the NFL's kind of dropped the ball. Even with Tiffany Haddish, she messed up Mike Vrabel's name.
You mean like the production letting them know how to pronounce it? It's just
like, I get what y'all trying to do. Y'all trying to keep it hip, keep it cool, but this is something so prestigious. Is like, these aren't like, he had Barry Sanders up there, and Barry, when he was doing it, Barry looked at him like, bro, what are you, this, you know what I'm saying?
Just to recap, how did Drewski do it? Like,
he did the stuff.
What's up, man? How did he do it? We all know how to say his name, Jackson Smith and the Jigba, JSN, if you don't know that. But how did Drewski
just the nigga da just like you said, just butchering it up just for the shits and giggles, and it didn't go over probably like he thought it would. You know what I'm saying? Social media kind of gave him a pushback. You know what I'm saying? So
this is a highlight too. This is like the NFL honors. This is the peak.
Yes.
Of it. Obviously, you want comedians there to kind of like, you got the monologue coming on, like you want to have a comedic accent to the show, but he kind of chopped his name up on a disrespectful way.
And it just, then you saying nigga in front of the, it's just like, bro, just not
in
like
front of the world. He did that.
Yeah,
on TV.
You just could have just really. Yes, you could have passed on that one, and if he probably could do it over, he probably wouldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, or maybe he would. He just, you know what I'm saying. But also, what do you want comedians to do? Also, too. So I think the NFL, in my opinion, dropped the ball. Just have some previous offensive guys present the award. We don't like.
Yeah,
I get it though. And then Tiffany Haddish, she bombed too. Like, she's being flirty with guys when their wife there, and it's like it's beginning, like everybody's kind of cringy, kind of laughing, but you like, I'm not really like.
When they brought on Tiffany Haddish though, that's kind of what she's known for, like the cringe, like
she's gonna have a cringe moment.
She's every time. It's just like I don't like that kind of comedy. I don't know who picks it. It just like, it doesn't flow. It feels forced. It doesn't, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, here we go. Like, I guess it's funny, I guess, but
Speaking of that, obviously the main event, Matt Stafford winning MVP.
Yeah.
He finished out with 24 of 50 first place votes. Drake May got 23 of the first place votes. Matt Stafford got 366 points. Drake May got 361. And if for people who don't know how the pointing system goes for MVP, if someone votes you first place, you get 10 points. Second place is 5. I believe it goes, third place is like 2 points. First place is 1 point. So if Drake May gets another first place vote from anybody else, he wins MVP, and it probably won't be a co-MVP unless he get a second place vote. Vaughn, I want to start with you. Is Matt Stafford deservingly to be the MVP of this last year NFL season?
Yeah, I think Matt Stafford, he was definitely the favorite, in my opinion. And I think that they tried to make it closer than what it really was. Drake May had an amazing year. Yes, he did. But also, the New England Patriots had one of the easiest schedules in all of football, maybe even in NFL history. Matt Stafford played in, the NFC West, 49ers, Seattle Seahawks, Arizona Cardinals. You can just throw those in there. But they always play tough. They always play tough.
Yeah,
and his body of work this last season was amazing. I think that, the media and people just wanted to make it closer than what it really was. Drake May was definitely deserving. He definitely had a great year, but not like Matthew Stafford. They got it right when it comes to Matthew Stafford for MVP.
100% agree. You actually kind of, when you see Matt out there, like just really quarterbacking that shit, you like, that's how a quarterback supposed to look. Yeah. That's how a quarterback, that's what quarterbacking is right there. From the no looks, even though that's kind of like a new thing, that no look thing he be doing, is still, and he do that shit in real time. He actually did it in the Super Bowl, so he just one of the coldest ever.
Yeah.
So, but definitely Matt. And how old is Matt now?
Matt's pretty old. Matt's probably 38, 39 at least.
So he's a guru, man. I love watching him play, though. I can't lie. And I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't in the beginning. I thought Matt Stafford was just throw it to Calvin, But now in this stage, and he's just dicing up defenses, and like, I love Matt, dog. He's good. He's very scary out there when you're watching him play. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of his
scared of Drake May at all.
Yeah, speaking of his age, Saturday was Matt's birthday. He just turned 38. So happy belated birthday to Matt Stafford. And what a way to celebrate your birthday winning MVP. Yeah, happy birthday, Matt Stafford.
Texas boy too, right?
You said what?
I think Matt is Texas boy too. Matt Stafford, Dallas or Texas too.
Yeah, he's right here from Highland Park, the Beverly Hills of Dallas. No, it's still Dallas, Texas. He's still putting on for the city.
Yeah, that's what's up. So you got Jess in Dallas too. Mm-hmm. You got Matt Stafford, Dallas.
Gonzalez is from out here too. The colony.
I like Dallas, man. Y'all all right with me, man?
Yeah, man, we all right.
Dallas got some people. They all right.
And we got Myles Garrett.
Yeah, speaking of Dallas, let's go to defensive MVP. Speaking of that, let's go to Myles Garrett winning Defensive Player of the Year. Shout out to him. Former Aggie. Obviously, that was just unanimous. We knew Myles Garrett was going to have that. Theo, me and you, we talked about it before. Vaughn, please speak from your perspective of trying to win Defensive Player of the Year. I want to bring this up for the people that's watching too. You probably noticed, Vaughn, the 2 times that you could say you had the most sacks in your career, you didn't get that Defensive Player of the Year award to people that had 22.5 sacks both years. Aaron Donald, 2018, 2012 was J.J. Watt, had 22.5. Both times you had 18.5, 14.5 sacks. It's tough getting that many sacks. Obviously, Myles Garrett hit the record this season. What do you think about Myles Garrett in this last season he just had?
It's a select few defensive players, mainly pass rushers. If they lead the league in sacks, they're going to get Defensive Player of the Year. TJ Watt, if he leads the league in sacks, he's going to Defensive Player of the Year. Nick Bonito, if he leads the league in sacks, he didn't have to break the record, but if he leads the league in sacks, he's going to be Defensive Player of the Year. Myles Garrett, if he doesn't do anything else on that football field, he doesn't have to score a touchdown. He don't have to get a sack, forced fumble, none of that. If he leads the league in sacks, he's a shoo-in to win Defensive Player of the Year each and every time. And this year was special because not only did he lead the league in sacks, he broke the all-time sack record for a single season. So we kind of already knew that Myles Garrett was going to be Defensive Player of the Year. This is his second one. I think midway through the season when he had 5 sacks in one game, it was a month out the year. He had 5 sacks, 4 sacks, 3 sacks. Just that month alone separated him from, everybody else. And all the while he's doing this on the Cleveland Browns, one of the worst teams in the NFL, and probably one of the smallest markets when it comes to visibility as well. So people know about Myles Garrett. For him to go and do that, lead the league in sacks when he's not going to have a lead. They're in every game. They're the underdogs to lose the game. In every game, he's not going to be up by 10 points. He's not going to be able to pin his ears back and just anticipate a snap, kind of rush. What he did this year was special. And on top of that, he broke the single season sack record. So Myles Garrett leads the league in sacks. He's going to win Defensive Player of the Year, and that's going to be written like that forever.
Nice. Shout out to Myles Garrett. Moving on, we got Comeback Player of the Year, Christian McCaffrey. Coach of the Year was Mike Vrabel, and Assistant Coach of the Year was Josh McDaniels. I want to get to the last thing with NFL honors. Vaughn, your former teammate that you played with last season. The Walter Payton Man of the Year, Bobby Wagner.
Yeah.
Just speak about Bobby Wagner, the guy that you got to play with this past season.
Yeah.
And just the man he was on the field, in the locker room, just off the field, and just want to speak to that and highlight what he just won.
Man, of course you got MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. Those are all great awards. The most prestigious award in our game is Walter Payton Man of the Year. To win Walter Payton Man of the Year, you got to go above and beyond what you do on the football field. That's how you impact the community. You changing lives. So to do that on top of playing football is definitely amazing. In the NFL, we are very proud of our guys being in the community, changing lives, changing environments, changing people's circumstance. And Bobby Wagner did that this year on top of having a really good year. That Walter Payton Man of the Year logo will forever be on his jersey. It's just you got the C on one side, and then you got the Walter Payton Man of the Year on the other side. No matter what team you go to, no matter how long you play, you will always have that Walter Payton Man of the Year on your jersey. It separates you from everybody else. It's, in my opinion, it's more prestigious than a Defensive Player of the Year or Offensive Player of the Year. You can have a great year on the football field, and you get that. But that Walter Payton Man of the Year logo will follow you around for the rest of your career. I learned a lot about Bobby this season. I learned why he is the way he is. Usually you're like, man, he kind of dry. He's not. He don't laugh and giggle with everybody else. He'll laugh and hang out. But he has a more mature vibe about him, and that's because his mom had passed away from a stroke. And he felt like if he would have had the signs or he had more knowledge about strokes, maybe his brother who was there at the time could have saved his mom. So passing on information, passing awareness on what strokes are, that was his message. And to win Walter Payton Man of the Year was something so close to him. I have a charity too. I have a foundation too. Vaughn's Vision. We give away glasses, eye exams, LASIK surgery. We're changing lives too. But you compare that to what Bobby has done, is just simply incredible, man. And hats off to Bobby Wagner, man. He just continues to win and win and win. This year he got his master's degree from Howard. He was doing that all the while playing football. He's an owner of the Seattle women's basketball team. He's on a different level. I've talked to him on so many different occasions, whether it's business, whether it's family, whether it's teammates, whether it's winning Super Bowls, and he is just the top of the crop. He's the exception. He's playing football at the same time. He's making his life better. He's furthering his education while doing that. He's in the community. He's changing lives. Man, shout out to Bobby Wagner, man. That was probably the most prestigious award out of all the bunch. You got Myles Garrett, Matthew Stafford. Bobby Wagner leads the bunch with Walter Payton Man of the Year.
Yeah, big shout out to that, man. Shout out to the NFL Honors. Really good show this past weekend.
I've been around the league a long time, and I know one thing for sure. I carry a lot of responsibility at home. If something happened to me, there would be real consequences. Mortgage payments, tuition, everyday bills that just don't stop. That's why I got life insurance through Ethos. I appreciated how simple the process was. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in as little as 10 minutes, and in many cases, get same-day coverage. There's no medical exam. You just answer a few health questions online. Coverage can go up to $3 million, with some policies starting as low as $30 a month. Ethos is trusted by thousands of people with over 3,000 reviews and a 4.8 out of 5 rating on Trustpilot. Business Insider even named them the #1 non-medical exam instant life insurance provider as of March 2025. For me, it's simple. Protecting my family comes first. Protect your family with life insurance through Ethos. Get your free quote in minutes at ethos.com/free range. That's ethos.com/free range. Ethos.com/free range. Application times and rates may vary.
Let's get to Super Bowl 60 recap. Seattle beats New England 29-13. It was a defensive game, to say the least. It was no touchdowns going into the fourth quarter. The only time that has happened was that New England versus the Rams Super Bowl 2018. Sam Darnold finished 19 for 38 for 202 yards, 1 touchdown. Drake May had a rough night, to say the least. 27 for 43, 295, 2 touchdowns, 2 INTs. Kenneth Walker, can't say enough, the Super Bowl MVP. 27 carries, 135 yards. He didn't get a touchdown. They tried to get him one at the end of the game, but he didn't get one. And I want to shout out maybe the unannounced hero, Jason Myers, who kicking those field goals, he could have changed the momentum of the game. Vaughn, talk to us about what you thought about Super Bowl 60. The game, it was a defensive game. You're a defensive guy. A lot of sacks going around for Seattle guys, right? Talk to us about it.
Was that Thursday Night Football or was that the Super Bowl?
For sure.
It wasn't as competitive. It wasn't as competitive as we thought it was going to be. All the while, I knew the Seattle Seahawks had an impressive team. I had the Seattle Seahawks winning, but I had the game a little bit more competitive. And I think right out the gate, you kind of saw the difference between the two teams. The wide receivers for the New England Patriots, they couldn't get the separation. The Seattle Seahawks was able to run the ball all up and down the field. That's why Kenneth Walker was able to get the Super Bowl MVP. And it just looked like the Seattle Seahawks were the more physical team. And the New England Patriots, they got a physical team as well. It still felt like they were just 1 or 2 plays away from getting back in that game, even to the very, very last minute of it. But it wasn't as competitive as I thought it was. When I saw Sam Darnold start running the ball and scrambling, it showed me okay, he's going to do it. He's doing whatever it takes to win this game. Sam Darnold would not be denied today. This is his first year with the Seattle Seahawks. Last year he had 1 year with the Vikings to resurrect his career and then go to win a Super Bowl. It's super cool, man. I'm always rooting for the underdogs. And when he was with the Vikings last year, he was not brought in to be the guy. He was brought in the backup, J.J. McCarthy, and J.J. McCarthy ended up getting hurt, and Sam Darnold took advantage of his opportunity. When he signed with the Seattle Seahawks, he was brought there to be the guy, and he responded to that, man. And what a better way to cap off an amazing year, to get a Super Bowl. That's written in history. For the rest of his life, he'll be a Super Bowl champion. Now you can start, because that's the beginning of that Hall of Fame resume. And I think we're a long way away from talking about Sam Darnold being in the Hall of Fame, but he definitely put a bid in for it. To win a Super Bowl. That's the one thing that you got to have as a quarterback. He's got that done. A few more consistent years of playing the way he did these last 2 years. And I think we can start talking about Sam Darnold being in the Hall of Fame.
Talk to us, Theo. You were at the Super Bowl yesterday.
Yeah. Man.
What was the energy like for Seattle? Was the 12th man in the building?
They were there. I'm going to be honest. I think everybody kind of gave it all that NFC championship week. It felt like everyone kind of already knew. It just they were still excited and they was hyped, but it just felt like they just kind of they knew what time it was with them. They knew they was going to go out there and dominate. I don't think they had any doubt in their mind that they were going to beat the Patriots. I don't think they just had enough. I don't think the Patriots had enough. Drake May, I don't think he was really ready. he hasn't played great all playoffs at all anyway. So I honestly didn't really give them a chance, dog. Honestly,
You think that injury? You think that shoulder injury had anything to do with it? I know they were trying to make it.
I saw that all week. They were doing.
It was on the injury report. When I saw him throwing the ball, it didn't look like that would be a problem. But do you think that shoulder injury had anything to do with the way Drake May played?
Maybe you want to be 100 out there, so it's always going to have some kind of effect. But I just don't think they had enough. Like you said, even with the receivers, like they wasn't scared of the receivers. They don't got a real burner, so that you got to just watch out for it. Mac Hollins did get behind Tariq for a touchdown, but I don't know. I just don't feel like they had enough, dog. I just don't feel like they had enough, dog.
Yeah, I think the Patriots, that left offensive side, the two rookies, they had a long day.
They got bullied.
Jarrett Wilson, the left guard, and Will Campbell at left tackle. They started off going at those guys, just a bull rush. They wasn't sending a guy.
Yeah.
And it just looks like, and Vaughn, obviously you can let us know this. I just want to hear your opinion. It looks like Will Campbell is smaller, that he anchors on the bull rush, and then still gets pushed back or still lets a guy get by him. When you see a matchup like that Will Campbell matchup, who looked like he was having a hard time, obviously Jarrett Wilson, do you talk to your guy? Because you normally stand up. Do you talk to the tackle and say, hey, I got him, you just cover the guard? Like, what's that conversation if you see a tackle struggling when the start of a game?
Blood in the water.
Yes, exactly.
Blood in the water. Like, I went all there and I want to go against this guy. Lane Johnson actually texted me last night and he was like, man, these tackles are getting worked. Lane Johnson, one of the best left tackle in the NFL. He plays right tackle, but one of the best tackles in the NFL. Lane Johnson, Trent Williams, always in that conversation. And he texts me just out the blue, hey, these tackles getting worked, and you turn the TV and you can see it. I just think, for one, I'm a fan of Will Campbell. I like his athletic ability. I like the way he can get up to the second level, especially in the run game. But when it comes to the pass, one of the biggest knocks for him was his short arms and his size. And going against guys that specialize in that bull snatch, power on and off, you can kind of create a mismatch. And DeMarcus Lawrence had a day. Derek Hall had a day. DeMarcus Lawrence didn't have, a crazy list of sacks, but he had some pressure. Byron Murphy over the inside. Those guys were rushing. I think they had 5 sacks on the day. Derek Hall had 2, and he had 1 for a sack, for a fumble. It fell right into Nwosu's hands.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Was that an interception or was that a sack forced fumble?
I want to say fumble.
Either way it went, though, it looked amazing, and he ran all the way down the field, scored a touchdown. Yeah. Those are the type of games that you want as a defense. The left side, obviously, they gave up some pressures, gave us some sacks, but I think it was the offensive line as a whole. Morgan Moses, the right tackle on the other side, he got worked a couple of times too. That offensive line for the New England Patriots did not play how they played all season long. They've been a pretty stout unit. But in that Super Bowl yesterday going against the Seattle Seahawks, it was definitely tough sledding for the New England Patriots offensive line.
Yeah. Witherspoon was hollering off that corner, too. He was coming on that slot blitz, nickel blitz, and he was coming in there. Oh, he was coming there.
Like a little blitz insert. So he'll blitz, come out the field, and then insert to that B gap, and they just didn't have anything for it.
They did not.
They weren't able to pass it on. The communication, it looked like it was there. They blitzed a whole lot, and why change it? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And every money down, they were sending Witherspoon, and that speed off the edge, Drake May could not get away.
Oh, he was
make decisions fast enough. And that Seattle defense, they had a day yesterday. Shout out to Seattle's defense.
No, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Real quick, Vaughn, before we move off that with that front seven, what that D-line did for Seattle, is the best way, if you being the end, right, is the best way to stop that rush to help your offensive line out is as a quarterback, do you get rid of the ball fast? Do I run the ball? Like, how do I get Von Miller off my tackle? You know what I mean, Theo? Like, how do I get this guy? Yeah. Do I double you and then just handle you and then everybody else kind of fend for themselves?
No. First you got to have communication, got to see it coming. They did a really good job of waiting till the ball was snapped to send that guy. to change up some of those looks.
Yep.
And then you got to be able to pass off. You got to be able to, the communication has to be solid to pass off this guy that's blitzing. And Witherspoon being as fast as he was, the communication was there for the New England Patriots. And by the time they made adjustments to it, the game was already over with. So shout out to AD, the defensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks. He had an amazing game plan. All those guys played their tails off. It was an amazing game to watch, especially from a defensive perspective. I'm a defensive guy. I'm a sack guy. So to see those guys do it in the Super Bowl, I was definitely proud of the Seattle Seahawks for sure.
Yeah. Now put your GM hat on. If you're the New England Patriots, you're the GM. What's the first thing you go after in the offseason?
Well, this last offseason, the New England Patriots had one of the biggest. They had the most room cap-wise. So they went out there and they got guys. They went out and they got Harold Landry. They went out and they got Carlton Davis. They drafted Will Campbell. Like, they brought guys in to fill some of these spots. I think they need more They need a wide receiver. They need another guy that can take those little 5-yard slant routes and take them to 20 yards. That's what they were missing, in my opinion. Drake May, it's just the delay in his processing. You see the blitz coming. You gotta have a outlet right now. And too many times he was just throwing down to the check down. By the time Seattle Seahawks they caught on to that, tackling got a whole lot better in the first quarter. He had some of those check downs and the guys were able to break tackles and get first downs. Well, as soon as Seattle started to catch wind of that, tackling got a whole lot better. It kind of shut all of that stuff down. So the first thing that I would do for the New England Patriots, they've already addressed that offensive line. They brought in Morgan Moses. He's one of the better right tackles in the NFL. They brought in Bradbury from the Minnesota Vikings that come over there and play center. He's one of the better centers in the NFL. 71, I don't want to chop his name up, but he was one of the best guards, in the NFL as well. So they addressed that offensive line. I just think that day they just had a tough outing versus Seattle Seahawks. They got two really good running backs. I just think another wide receiver. They need that guy. Really all three of those wide receivers are the same guy essentially. Some bigger, smaller, but their game is all the same. Except Mac Hollins is the outlier. He's the big, possession guy, big jump ball guy. But they need that. They need that. Get the slant, break a tackle, and go for 20 yards. They need that guy offensively, in my opinion. And I think that was a difference in that game yesterday.
Yeah, you're not scared of them offensively. You know what I'm saying? You're not scared of them. You're not, we need to watch this. So you just kind of just go out there and play man up and see if they could, beat their guy. And I don't know, by the time Drake May saw look left, progression is, and he was running for his life. You know what I'm saying? So he probably should have ran a little more, honestly. But
yeah, he probably should have ran. He did end up running. He ran. But not as much, not enough to win that game. Defensively, they played well enough.
Yeah, they played good.
Yeah, Gonzalez had an amazing game. If it wasn't for Gonzalez, that game looks a whole lot different.
For sure.
He was definitely impressive. Did he have an interception? Did he have a pick six or any? No, he didn't have any of those plays, but he had sticky coverage on all of those receivers, whether it was Jackson Smith-Njigba or Cooper Kupp. Like some of those highlights and those replays, watching his technique, Gonzalez looked amazing yesterday. Just not enough on the offensive side to get the win.
He did. Yeah, and that's kind of been the tell for all the playoffs, but this time it finally bit them. They've been winning games with not too much offense production, and it finally got them, which I kind of knew was going to happen. But I don't know. You think they'll be back next year? You think? No, I don't think so.
I don't think they'll be back. I think
they don't go like that. They don't.
The Buffalo Bills probably would have had a more competitive game versus the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah.
The Denver Broncos with Bo Nix. They probably have a better, it's a more competitive game. Those two teams versus Seattle Seahawks, that'd be a more competitive game in my opinion. Will they be right back in the Super Bowl? They would say yes, and they would like to think that. I've been in that position before. We lost to the Seattle Seahawks in 2014. It was like, man, we're gonna come right back. You know, it's hard to come right back. You know, guys are. He's a second year quarterback. He will be back, but back in his third year, I don't know. That NFC East, going against, the AFC East, you got the Buffalo Bills that you got to go through, and if the Buffalo Bills beat the Denver Broncos, I don't see the New England Patriots beating the Buffalo Bills. So that is the team that they have to come through. I think the Buffalo Bills will be back in the Super Bowl next year. If it'll either be the Buffalo Bills or the Denver Broncos on the AFC side. But the NFL is so competitive. This is what makes our league so much fun. Like, it'll be a new team, it'll be a better, new and improved team that will be really, really competitive next year, and it'll change the whole face of what the NFL looks like. So right now on paper, I don't think the New England Patriots are back. The Seattle Seahawks, I can see them being very, very competitive, and I can see them having a roll back to the Super Bowl next year for sure.
Yeah, no, for sure. Me too. I think so too. But before we leave that, is it fair? I don't want to disrespect the game because I know you guys really take this thing seriously. Can I say this was a down year for like teams and maybe the playoffs a little bit? No Pat, no Lamar, no Joe.
No, those guys got beat in the regular season. It wasn't like Patrick Mahomes didn't play all year. It wasn't like Lamar Jackson didn't play all year. It wasn't like Joe Burrow didn't play all year. Yes, those guys missed games because of injury. Yeah. But their teams was ready to go at the beginning of the year, and they looked the same. And they didn't look like they would be Super Bowl teams. But those guys who will be right back in contention.
For sure. The landscape
those guys will be right back in contention. I think, one of the teams that'll be drastically better this coming up year, the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes,
no, out. He's gonna be out. This year's done.
Nah, he's scheduled to make it back by training camp.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes is definitely gonna be back. Is he gonna be running around like he was before? No. But that Kansas City Chiefs team will be drastically better this coming up year. The Ravens will be drastically better this coming up year. Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals will be back this year. You can't ever count out Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. None of those guys. Like, they're so competitive. They're gonna use this as motivation. Those three teams will be right back in the mix this year for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Houston too. I think Houston gonna be pretty good again too.
Houston had an opportunity this year. I don't know what happened with CJ Stroud. The 5 picks in the game versus the New England Patriots was very, very uncharacteristic. I have CJ Stroud. This is his contract year. I had him being the highest paid player in the NFL coming into this year, especially the contract going on, especially the way that he's been playing. They're going to try to use that game to try to take a couple millions off of it. But he's still going to get paid. Will he be the highest paid player in NFL history? No. But does he get the quarterback average $50 million, $55 million a year? I can see that for sure. But I had him, CJ Stroud, especially with David Mugoleta being his agent. I had CJ Stroud being a $62, $64 million guy coming to the season. Can Dave Mugoleta still pull it off? Don't ever count him out of it. Please don't count him out of it. But that game kind of took a couple millions off of it. He's still going to be all right, though.
Yeah. Guaranteed, too.
More with the Super Bowl before we get done with that. Theo, you were there. Yeah. So we want to know your experience, and Vaughn, your experience of watching the Super Bowl halftime show featuring Bad Bunny. Theo, talk to us about being there, what it felt like, what was the crowd reaction? They was
literally, they was going crazy for Bad Bunny. I'm not super into Bad Bunny. I don't know it like that, but it was dope to see how people were actually waiting for this actual moment, and the visuals that he had was super, super dope. But I didn't fully know the music though, you know what I'm saying? But it was cool to see the people reacting. And I see a couple memes talking about who these two teams playing on Bad Bunny's concert, and it's funny. So
the Benito Bowl.
It was cool to see. They had the little lighters, but it was a good show though for sure. But I don't know the words, but I see the reaction, so I think it's good. It got to be good, right? It's Bad Bunny.
I
Bad
think,
Bunny.
I think Bad Bunny, he's one of the biggest stars in the world. Yes. Super Bowl is. I didn't understand none of the music that he was playing.
Okay, I'm not alone.
Like I felt like the energy and the vibe, but I couldn't like get with it. I don't know the words. I don't understand. I don't speak Spanish, but the energy that he had for that show was amazing. And then looking at the stars that had cameos, Pascal was in there. Cardi B was in there. They had everybody in there. They definitely brought the energy for the show. Where did all the tall grass and the plants come from? They definitely changed the vibe. And I think it was they brought Puerto Rico to Santa Clara for the halftime show. They did an excellent job with the visuals for that halftime show for sure. Bad Bunny definitely brought it. It was just a disconnect with it being Spanish, and 90% of the people watching it don't speak Spanish. But I do think he did an excellent job. Even though we don't speak Spanish, I felt the vibe. I knew what he was saying without knowing what he was saying. So Bad Bunny did an excellent job, in my opinion, for sure.
If you had to pick, who would you kind of have for your Super Bowl like performer? Like what you control it. You in control of that. Who you putting out there?
Man, the next day today, when you're looking at all the clips and people saying this and who said what. Yeah. Chris Brown said they need me in there.
Hey, they do though. I'm a breezy guy.
When you take a step back and look at it, Chris Brown is one of the best performers ever. Yes. Mm-hmm. I think he would definitely kill that environment. I think he would definitely kill a show like that.
Me too, for sure.
I think they should definitely look into that. I think, Drake has never done a halftime show. He's an excellent performer as well. I think, we can take it back to the trap, bring Quavo and have an Atlanta, in LA they had, Dr. Dre and Eminem, come on, bring the Atlanta guys out, Quavo, Gunna, get them going. I think Gunna would be perfectly suited for a halftime show.
Nah, for sure. Especially how he's been to the sports kind of where they've been kind of that definitely been dope for sure.
Yeah, it'd be perfect to have Gunna. He can bring out some other guys with him. Yeah, man, go ahead and let Gunna do it. Go let Gunna rock the halftime show. I think it's time. I think it's time for sure.
You saying take it to the track?
Where's the Super Bowl next year? Is it LA?
Los Angeles, California.
Okay, so are they going Kendrick again or something? Or
they're not going Kendrick again.
They're not going Kendrick again. But last thing before as we get off the NFL Hall of Fame class of 2026, you got Roger Craig, you got Larry Fitzgerald, Luke Kuechly, Adam Vinatieri, and last but not least, Drew Brees. Vaughn, what do you think about the NFL Hall of Fame class of 2026?
So Roger Craig got in before Bill Belichick?
This is what we're doing.
Got ahead of Robert Kraft?
This is what we're doing.
Luke Kuechly, yes, 100%. Larry Fitzgerald, yes, 100%. Yeah. Drew Brees, yes, 100%. They got all of those. They got those three guys right. Mm-hmm. Who is this Roger Craig guy?
Roger Craig played for the Niners. He was
I know, but he just been waiting so long that he get in front of Bill Belichick. He get in front of Robert Kraft.
Robert Kraft.
These are some of the things that happen when you make the decision to leave Bill Belichick off of the docket. You start looking at the other people, which those guys are rightfully deserving. But you just start looking at the other guys, and it really takes away from those other guys. Roger, he not better than Bill Belichick, or he didn't do this. Bill Belichick, you start comparing and contrasting to the other guys that are on there. They got it right with Drew Brees. They got it right with Larry Fitzgerald. They got it right with Luke Kuechly. I stand on it still to this day. They didn't get it right with leaving Bill Belichick off of the docket, 100%.
I agree. So is the punishment, Joe, next year he just in? How long do they make him wait? The thing I just don't like about it, which one is it? Are we punishing him? Is he not getting in? Or are we just going to show him he's not in control? Or are we going to, I'm trying to say,
He's getting in. He's getting in. I think Bill Belichick could have went up there and slapped every last one of those voters, and he still deserved to get in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. They making it way too personal than what it should be. I saw some headlines that they're looking to make changes around the Hall. That's what I was looking for initially. That there are going to be changes made when you leave. When you leave Bill Belichick off of the Hall of Fame, he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer. Change is going to come right after that. And I think that's the most important part of all of this. They were talking about making the votes public and some other things that they were going to add to make sure that, issues like this never happen again, because it takes away from the Hall of Fame. It takes away from the other guys around. Like we just said, like Bill Belichick not getting in, you looking at Roger Craig like, who's this guy? Even though we know who he is, but you're looking at it like, who's this guy? And why does he deserve to get in before Bill Belichick? I don't care how long he waiting. I don't care if it was 60 years he's been waiting. He didn't deserve to get in before Bill Belichick with that class. So that's what happens when you drop the ball the way the Hall of Fame did this year with Bill Belichick.
Yeah. Shout out to the 2026 Hall of Fame class. Looking ahead to the 2027 Pro Football Hall of Fame first year eligible players. Next year it will be AP, Adrian Peterson, Rob Gronkowski, Richard Sherman, Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, Cam Newton, Andrew Whitworth, Eric Weddle, and Alex Mack will be the 10 that are first year eligible players for the 2027 Pro Hall of Fame. Any early picks that's going to make it from those 10 guys? Any early picks?
Cam Newton, this is his first year of eligibility?
2027 will be his first year eligibility. Same with
let's try to get the first ballots out the way. Go read that list to me one more time.
Adrian Peterson, Rob Gronkowski, Richard Sherman, Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, Cam Newton, Andrew Whitworth, Eric Weddle, and Alex Mack.
Andrew Whitworth, Rob Gronkowski, first ballot Hall of Famers. Okay. I don't think we can just put those guys to the side.
Okay.
I would want to throw AP in there too.
Yeah, me too.
But I know they gonna try to do the stuff with AP.
Yeah.
Cam Newton, he could definitely make a case for it. Antonio Brown, if we're looking at stats, he could definitely be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I think some of the other stuff that was around, AB, it kind of takes away. I think if you talk about punishment, they're going to try to punish him for leaving the game the way he did. For walking out of the NFL the way he did, they're going to try to punish him for that. He's just as deserving as Rob Gronkowski or Ben Roethlisberger or Andrew Whitworth. So they're going to get – Big Ben is getting in. Big Ben is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Rob Gronkowski is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and Andrew Whitworth. Those three guys are going to be first ballot Hall of Famers. There are some deserving guys on there for sure. Antonio Brown should definitely be a first ballot Hall of Famer. They're just going to get him. They're going to ban him. They're going to ban him for all the stuff that happened. If they did that to T.O., they're going to do that to AB for
sure. Richard Sherman is making it win, Theo.
How many go in per year?
Five
or six.
How many?
Five or six.
5 or 6.
Yeah.
Richard Sherman, first ballot. I'm gonna say he's not first ballot, but he's definitely in. But I don't know. I like Richard, but I don't know if he's first ballot. I just don't know if he's first ballot.
I like Adrian Peterson too, but I just
I love AP first ballot.
I just don't know if he's first ballot as well.
He's had. Yeah, they gonna. I mean, he should get in there, man. We can't keep doing that. If they're changing the rules, if it's about the game, what you did on the field, the blood, sweat, and tears of what you did, the stats, the accolades, and all that shit, man. Get them people in there, man. We gotta take our egos and stop making it so personal and having these, But they do want to protect the image of it too. So I guess they're not gonna just let anybody just walk in there.
So real quick to do the numbers, guys. If we are already saying that 2 or 3 guys gonna make it first ballot. Remember, the 2 people we just talked about, Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick, they're up to vote next year.
They got
if those 2 guys make it in next year, and we just named
guys back,
2 or 3, then
they line up.
Eli Manning missed it 2 straight votes, 2 years.
Shit,
Now does Eli go in next year? Like next year, 2027, to pick you because of what you did to Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick, you make it harder next year.
You actually messed up the whole line of
you just messed up the voting for next season.
Yeah, some guys is gonna have to wait. So Rob Gronkowski, I would say
first.
With that being said, is probably the only first ballot Hall of Famer on that list because Bill Belichick is getting in next year, so that's gonna push another guy off. Andrew Whitworth is getting in too. Robert Kraft is getting into next year. So that leaves space for one more dude. They definitely backlogged it up by pushing Bill Belichick back.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, shout out to that as we wrap up the league. Now it is to our free range segment. This is the free range segment right here where we tap in with news all around the world with rather sports related or unsports related. I want to start with the Diamond Gym that has been making rounds, has been going viral. I actually been watching Diamond Gym clips. For the people who don't know, Diamond Gym is a gym right outside of Newark. It's in like Maplewood, New Jersey. In the Diamond Gym, they tell you when it starts, hey, we aren't trained professionals. We are just lifting weights just for basically the hell of it. And they lifting weights like all different type of ways. They like lifting weights like they doing everything. You have people like AJ Brown just put up, Ashton Hall, Matt Rife.
That gym.
That gym.
And
they talking to you the whole time. They talking
crazy in there. I saw that.
They said everything. Your mama fat, man. If you don't lose this weight, like they said everything. They said everything, bro.
Yeah, I saw that.
Blood popping out their veins on their neck. This Diamond Gym. Vaughn, have you seen the Diamond Gym? And if you maybe 10 years younger, would you ever have done Diamond Gym and done a workout there?
Man, this is not a fit for me. I work out. I work out. I like to work out hard, but just the added attention around it, like it's just not my stilo, man. Like I like to do enough to get the job done.
Yeah.
Like you said, even 10 years younger, I'm just gonna do enough to get the job done. Those guys in there and going over and above. I saw that they kicked the stream out of there. Rakai. Mm-hmm. It was like, he in here playing, get him out of here.
All that playing.
Get him out of here.
All that playing.
So they take it serious, man. A little bit too serious for me. I'm just being honest. Like, I like to get my work, man, just to get enough to go by. I don't want my career and all of this stuff thrown in my face. You're supposed to be the Super Bowl MVP.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
You think you strong, boy?
It just turned me off. That's just me personally. There's a fit for all of these guys. There's a fit for people for every gym. For Von Miller, not a knock to the Diamond Gym. None that they got going on. It's just not a fit for me and Von and where I'm at in my life.
Yeah,
but I love what they doing. I'm a fan. It's definitely great content. But for Von Miller, 37 years old, I'll pass.
Yeah, it ain't for everybody, man. That's what we doing there.
Yeah.
Real man. I'm a
real man.
Real man. I'm a man.
Y'all can have it, man. They are a real man. That has nothing to do with me. It's somebody for everybody.
I got it.
And it just ain't for your boy.
Next up on the free range section on this topic, how would y'all like to win $73 million?
I mean, I like numbers. $73 million for a Super Soaker lawsuit. Go ahead, expand on that. What happened?
Yeah.
Yes. So Lonnie Johnson was awarded $72.9 million in a settlement with Hasbro over unpaid royalties. The Super Soaker was the world's best-selling toy in the 1990s, selling over 250 million units. I had maybe 5 of those units. I definitely had that Super Soaker. By the way, Lonnie Johnson is a black man, so shout out to another creation.
I actually have a Lonnie Johnson shirt. I wish I would put it on. That would have been
so let's talk about that. Did y'all have Super Soakers when you guys were younger? Did y'all? That's something. I grew up in Buffalo, New York, so it was cold 9 months out of the year, and I still had some. So I know y'all did coming from Florida and Dallas, Texas. And let's talk about Lonnie Johnson winning $73 million unpaid royalties.
How old is he now, though? How old is he?
Let's see, Lonnie Johnson. Let me look that up real quick. Let's
Because
see.
I need a little early. I need to enjoy this, man. But I mean, anytime 73, 73 anytime. But
he turned 77 this year. I'm sorry, 76. He's 76 right now. Birthday's in October. So
it's always a good time to get that money on.
And then ain't no explanation date on that.
I'm a huge fan of getting what's due. Unpaid royalties. He worked hard for that. He earned that.
Yeah.
It sucks that he had to go to court and fight these people to get his money.
Yeah.
But I'm glad he got his money. I'm glad he got what he earned and what was deserved. Like I said, going to court, I hate that it had to come down to that. Yeah. But you got to do whatever it takes to get your money on.
However long, too. We'll wait out. They probably try to wait him out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Emotions and all that. But shit, shout out to him, though. That's dope.
Yeah, shout out to getting that money out. And then he'll be able to give it to his children, his grandchildren, his nieces, nephews, his family. So, and that's how you create generational wealth. And as we know, as you know, for a black man to have created this, you want to be able to do that and give your family a head start or give us a boost. So, big shout out to him. Big shout out to him. Yeah. New segment within the free range. It's something I like to call free range. Q&A. You get two different options. You are either free range or contained. So I'm going to ask y'all 5 questions, and we're going to either go with free range being all the way. Yeah, that's free range. That's cool. That's cool with me. That's a yes. I like that. Or we're going to say contained, and contained is like, that's not for me. I'd rather pass. So our first one from this new segment that we have, the free range segment. KD said that he would trade one of his MVPs for the Washington Commanders to win a Super Bowl. Now, Vaughn, is that free range or is that contained? Is that just too much? Would you trade the Super Bowl MVP for?
Yeah. Stop, KD. Man, you know, I know you're a fan of the Washington Commanders. You grew up in that area. Like, I know all this, but stop, man. No, man. You know you ain't going for the Commanders to win a Super. Man, stop, man. I get it. You are a super fan when it comes to the Washington Commanders. Get all that. That's definitely dope. But, you know, people get on these podcasts and they just be talking, man. Like, KD not about to give up one of his MVPs. Man, just think about when he won the MVP, got on that stage, he was crying. Mama, this is for you. You the real MVP. You going to give that away? So the Commanders, man, stop, bro. Stop, bro. It's dope, though. It's dope. I see how much he loved the Commanders, bro. But come on, man. Had your mama, y'all both crying on stage. You gonna give that up? You gonna give that up so the Washington Commanders can go to the Super Bowl?
Yeah. To win the Super Bowl. Stop, it was man. To win. Stop, okay. Man. All right. So Vaughn is contained. Theo, free range or contained?
I'm gonna say no. I'm contained. I don't think he'll do that for real neither. Like that award was very special to him, and I know it feels good to talk shit that my team won, but to say I'm the MVP of the something, give me that. I need that MVP.
Okay,
I'd rather come back to the hood with the MVP trophy anyway.
Yeah, no, seriously.
I'm representing my whole, you heard me, you feel me? So
yeah, seriously. Next one. Vaughn, you would have had 2 sacks in the Super Bowl last night if you were with the Seattle Seahawks. Free range or contained?
Man. Oh my God.
Come on, man. That's free range for sure, man. I'm trying to get away from it. I'm trying to forget about it. You know, it was, you know, my dad and my mom, we was out watching it, and my dad said, we're supposed to be at the Super Bowl. Like, I'm like, man, y'all let it go. I'm like, man, y'all let it go, man. Y'all let it go, man. We made the decision. It's over with. It's done. But yeah, it was definitely like a little side note, a side card that, you know, I turned down an offer to go play for the Seattle Seahawks. Like, I did that. I made, you know, the best decision at the time with the information that I had. And those guys went on to win the Super Bowl. It's like, you got a girlfriend and you pick another girl and now y'all going through rough times and you look over and she done got a record deal and she like all in the movies and this and that. Like, you don't want to start going down that road, man. That stuff causes depression, guys. Yeah, and I'm moving over, man. It happened, but 100%. Seeing the way they rush, especially when you got other guys around you, like they had 5 sacks. I like to think, you know, Vaughn, he at least get down on 2 of those for sure.
For sure.
Free range or contained. And for the last 5 games going into yesterday, I wanted to say Cooper Flag. Obviously, Vaughn, you're from Dallas native. 33.4 points a game, 8.8 rebounds, 4.8 assists. Cooper Flag had that legendary 49-point night. I think it was over a week ago.
Yeah.
The Dallas Mavericks are in good shape with a new superstar, free range or contained, Vaughn and Theo.
Man, that's free range for sure. I agree with that. Cooper Flag. This is what the NBA been wanting. They wanted this type of guy. Image wise, game wise, he checks all the boxes.
Yeah.
It's gonna take some time to get him where he needs to go. But he's a great player. They're gonna build a team up around him with the Dallas Mavericks. They've already started that process. You look at them trading away Anthony Davis, it kind of goes back to. So why did we trade Luka again? Like, why did we do what we did? Like, we could have kept Luka and had Cooper Flag. Mm-hmm. Well, they got that guy out of there. They got the GM out of there. I think they were just looking for a reason to after that Luka trade. He didn't make that decision on his own, though. He got the okay from the ownership. So that's everybody involved there. Well, Luka, it just makes you think like, man, if they could have had Luka and Cooper Flag, Kyrie, they didn't have to, trade those guys away for Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis wasn't even here a solid year, and they already traded him over to DC. So it is what it is. Cooper Flag is definitely on the rise. They're going to build the team up around him. Yeah, I think that's definitely free range for sure.
Theo, free range are good things.
I'm sticking with that too. I'm rolling with that. I like Flag. I ain't even say sneaky athletic. He's athletic. They got him at like 0.4 right now. Mm-hmm. He on the boards. He running the break. You know what I'm saying? And then when Kyrie come back, they're gonna be all right, man. But the 80 thing, the 80 project, it didn't work. It was a failure. It
didn't. Let's keep it Dallas. Jermell Charlo wants to fight Earl Spence Jr. Vaughn, you are really good friends with Earl Smith Jr., Dallas guy. Free range or contained that we could be excited that Earl Spence Jr. might come back in the ring.
So this is real? This is real deal?
This is Yahoo Sports has reported that Jermell Charlo has been wanting to fight him. And Earl Spence has also, to be fair, he just said he just wants some money and he doesn't really want to fight him. So Earl Spence isn't taking it as a real call out, but free range or contained that we could be excited that it could possibly happen. We can get Earl Spence Jr. back in the ring.
Man, y'all, if y'all don't know by now, I'll let y'all know, right? I'll let y'all know today. I am a huge Earl Spence fan. Went to my same high school, DeSoto. He's from the areas from Dallas. When I saw him fight Crawford, everybody was hooping and hollering. I wanted to fight. Like, I'm like, no, like, all right, you losing in the ring. How about y'all fight me? I couldn't take it there, but I definitely felt like I was definitely angered seeing, my guy, seeing my star, take a whooping like that. But to have him come back, to have him continue his legacy, I'm all for it. He doesn't have to do any of that stuff. I'm looking forward to see what the drive looks like, or if this will lead to anything. But I'm a huge Earl Spence fan. Him, fighting Charlo, Houston versus Dallas. They'll be able to sell tickets for that one. But anything to see, Earl Spence fight, man, and continue his legacy, I'm all for it.
Free range or contained, Theo, what you think, man? You think it's a possibility we see him get back in the ring?
I mean, yeah, I kind of just I don't like when boxers kind of go in and out with that, though. I kind of when you're out, just kind of just stay out, bro. That sport's so dangerous, dog. I just that's the only thing I just don't like about it, dog. So I'm gonna go the other way with that, dog. I'm gonna just stay away, bro. But if you got an opportunity to get some chicken, go ahead and get it too.
Bark.
You know what I'm saying? You see what that boy Terrence said he ain't coming out of retirement for $100 million. I ain't going. He said he ain't going.
Did you see that? Let's talk about that. He said he ain't going. Let's talk about that. For $100 million, you not getting back in the ring? $100 million.
I'm getting back out there.
And Canelo's actually pissed that he won't give him a rematch too. He's actually you kind of owe me that because I took a chance with you to. So
No, man, he don't owe you nothing, man. You got beat, man. You got beat, man. He said, I'm gonna retire, man. We ain't running nothing back.
I would say I'm out of here, man. Y'all catch me out about, man. I'm riding off
If
to
the
the
other way
sunset.
around, I don't think if Canelo win that fight, I don't think he'd give Crawford a rematch.
No, hell no.
So you got to look at it from that angle too. We going a little bit left here, but Terrence Crawford, he won. He don't owe nobody no rematch. He done did everything he's supposed to do to get to where he at. He gave you a chance and you lost it. Yeah. Now you done figured him out. Now you done went back and watched the film. You want to come back for a rematch? No, man, we good.
Yeah. Last one on this free range or contained. The real MVP was kicker Jason Myers last night for the Seattle Seahawks. The real Super Bowl MVP. Free range or contained?
Man, that's contained. Like kickers, they do an amazing job. They are definitely a vital part of winning games. But he just made his field goals, man. Brandon McManus, just because he make all his field goals mean that he deserved to be the MVP? No, he did his job. Now if those were the only points scored in the game, yeah, that's different. And they only won by a field goal, that'll be different. Yeah. But the man did his job, man. Like, he deserved to be MVP for that. Oh, man, y'all come on, man.
Vaughn attacking kickers continues.
Vaughn, he gonna attack a kicker. That's why he had to do the lob up there for him, but he did his thing with that. He did exactly what you needed to do.
The onslaught continues.
Yeah, we back on defense now.
Got Lou Holtz. Will Lutz. He's still mad at me over there, man. Like, bro, I don't have no beef with kickers, man. At the same time, I know how hard it is to be a kicker. One of my best friend in the league is one of the best kickers in the league. I know how hard it is to be a kicker. But at the same time, I know how hard it is to be a kicker, man. Y'all come on, man. Y'all chill, man.
Okay, that is our free range segment. Now let's go to Miller's Mailbag. This is from Molly. She says, Did you ever have a move or a habit that was less about beating a tackle physically and more about getting in their head? P.S. Broncos country still house for 58. Shout out to you, Molly.
Yeah, man. I definitely got moves that are not going to lead to a sack. I think the bull rush for me is really just a kamikaze. I know I'm not about to get there. I just want to set up. I just want to show you, like, hey, like, I will run down the middle of you, like, if you don't sit on it. So, yeah, it's one of those things. Like, I'm a move. I'm an outside guy. I'm a speed to power guy. But sometimes I just got to go kamikaze and go bull rush just to show you that I got a little bit of power. Like, I just need to give you one more thing to think about. So whenever I'm doing those moves, yes, those moves have led to sacks. But for the most part, I know I'm not about to get there. You're 100 pounds bigger than me, and I'm trying to run down the middle of you. Like, I'm just trying to set up that physical element of the rush so I can open up other moves around. So it's just a chess moves. But yeah, sometimes I'll bull rush knowing that I'm not going to get there. Sometimes I'll speed rush 15 yards around the tackle deep just to show, like, hey, like, if you don't get back, I'm gonna run around you. So those are moves that I know, like, I'm not about to get there, but you just got to do it just to give the guy more things to think about.
Yeah. Was there ever a matchup of a player that you probably went against when he was a rookie, first year, second year, later in his career? Yeah. He kind of was able to tell a Von Miller move that worked in the past years prior. Was it a matchup you ever had with that?
No, man. I'm 37 years old and they still falling for the same tricks I've been doing my whole career. Thinking about pass rushing, though, we were back at the Super Bowl and we were at the tight end U party. And Lane Johnson and True Williams just popped up out of nowhere. And, I'm just kicking it, we just kicking and talking. Like, I'm a cool guy. I'm a fun guy. Like, we can hang out and not have to talk about football at all. But these being the best tackles in the NFL, we're just sitting there. And somebody had said some left tackle, these are the best. I said, man, they sorry. I said, man, both of these dudes sorry. I got sacks on both of them. And they both started laughing. Like, that was one of the highlights that I would just remember by talking about tackles and stuff. But yeah, man, I evolve each and every year. Each and every pass rush, I try to evolve. I try to get better. I try to debrief and remember what I did the last rush to kind of add that into my new rush. But man, I'm 37 years old and they still falling for the same tricks.
Well, That was it. Shout out to you, Molly. Thanks,
Molly.
That's it for Miller's Mailbag. Make sure you submit your questions. You can submit your questions or write them. You can send an audio message. You can send a video message to Von Miller at Odyssey.com. That is it for the Miller Mailbag. And now, any closing remarks, Vaughn, before we get out of here on this week's edition of Free Range Podcast?
Man, it is an honor and a privilege to have this platform. This is Free Range episode 14. We're doing it with my guy Theo, doing it with my guy TJ. Recapping on the NFL and the Super Bowl. It's just so cool to have this moment in time with you guys each and every week. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. The audience is what makes this thing go. Odyssey is what makes this thing go. I'm highly appreciative for the opportunity from those guys. All the guys backstage, Papa Podcast, James, ZC, all the guys that make this go, man. I appreciate y'all, man. I'll see y'all next week for episode 15. If you're rocking with this show, be sure to follow us at your favorite podcast app. And while you're there, go ahead and drop a 5-star rating and leave a review. I want to hear what you think. Free Range with Von Miller is presented by Odyssey. Our executive producers from Odyssey are Leah Reese-Dennis, Danny Freisinger, and Greg Hoseman. The show is produced by James Jackson and Evan O'Brien. Video production and creative design by Kurt Courtney and Lauren Vieira. Special thanks to Ben Swanson and Theo Smith and the team at Odyssey. Maura Corin, Melissa Wester, Isabella Apple, Hillary Shuck, Eric Donnelly, Kate Rose, Colin Gaynor, Sean Cherry, and Jake Gallen. We appreciate you guys.